Hello. Benny's trying to climb up here and is afraid to jump on the couch because I have the table here. Come on. You can do it, Ben. Happy Sunday. Hope everybody's doing well. Nice weather. Yay. My dear friend, Robin, sent me a beautiful crystal here. Really nice. Double terminated here. That has incredible energy in it. She actually sent one to myself and Gerard. And she was swimming with the whales. And I'm going to read what she wrote when she sent it. The whales are so magnificent. I think we're so lucky that we can go to the Cape Cod, and see them around here. Some of you are lucky you live in exotic places where you can see them. But for us, we have to go to Cape Cod and do whale watch or something. And they're so magnificent. It's just fascinating. So for whatever reason, Spirit wanted me to share this with you. And again, this is what she wrote. The whale's song opens us to the memory of all that has ever taken place on the earth, and a remembrance to the past lives that are influencing us at this time in our own evolution. It helps us to reconnect to our own soul wisdom and talents, accessing our memory when we have walked as healers, teachers, and leaders, helping us move into our greater and true potential as we open to the cosmic library that contains our personal records. So we know that whales are record keepers. They keep track of everything within their DNA that's happened on this planet. Whales are known as the floating libraries of light, and have recorded every thought, every action, every moment of Earth's history. The sound frequency they carry through the waterways helps us to remember our own soul's journey. Think about that. I for a very long time, have had a CD with whale sounds. Oh my God, they're heartbreaking in some ways. They have such a beautiful call. So working with the whale song will help you navigate through the energies of this year as you develop a greater relationship with self. And then she's telling me to meditate with the crystal to seek to find my own soul song. And so they often go in these vortexes within the ocean, and they collect up these amazing energies, and they are magnificent beings. I have to tell you, my friend Ann would remember this. Years ago, many years ago, Ann invited me to go along on a trip to Florida with her and her son that was going to swim with the dolphins. And it was a private place. I think it was called the Cove or something. And it was a private place. And to see his face when the dolphins came around him was just amazing. I mean, he was young then. He's probably 30 something now. But to see his face light up, and there was communication going on other levels. These magnificent beings of light, the dolphins, the whales, the clicking of everything, that literally when they're clicking, they're speaking that light language. And it's going into us at another level. Which is fantastic, right? So he had a ball doing that, and they're healers too. So they knew what he needed, what we needed, whatever. It was just something to see the joy on her son's face and the joy with the dolphins just doing what they do and being who they are, right? So there was a beluga whale, I'm getting back to the whales now, who was overdue. She was I can't remember if it was a week overdue or something. Now, this was incredibly brave of me, or stupid, I'm not sure which, but I agreed as a healer to go in this tank with a whale. Let me tell you something. I don't swim. I barely swim. And I went in this huge tank with a beluga whale and with a mask and everything. And when I went underwater and I could see how huge it was, I was like, have I lost my mind? But there's something that happens to all of us. I'm sure you all have stories. When something pulls on you greater and you feel like, I just need to do this, even if I'm afraid, feel the fear and do it anyways. I went in. I did wear a life jacket. I went in and I was swimming around this beluga. And the tank, I mean, it was big, but not that big that the thing was never going to come near me. It did stay a little bit away from me. It was curious. And I was just sending Reiki energy out in the water. And it was quite something. You know, I've had a lot of pretty mystical experiences, but I forgot about it until just now talking about the whales. And it was amazing that how quickly this mammal reacted and kept coming closer and looking at me. And their heads are huge, especially on the belugas. Many of you probably see them performing at like the aquarium, Mystic, or some of the other ones, aquariums. And pretty amazing. Well, shortly after, I was scared. It was like it was so exciting and scary at the same time. But when I got out of the tank, she ended up shortly after going into labor. And that was the coolest thing. Just sending the Reiki energy to help her. And, you know, it's such a reminder that these magnificent beings of light, like sometimes they need us to work with them, right? We're always asking them for something. And yet sometimes they run into trouble. It's like when you see these Facebook things of somebody, a fisherman that rescues a dolphin and cuts him loose from netting or whatever, and it's as if they're saying thank you. And we really are in partnership with everything on this earth. And so when you see an animal that's in distress or whatever and helping it, there was another really amazing Facebook one with a doe that was stuck in a fence, leg all bleeding and everything. And this guy just stood there and kept cutting away and cutting away and cutting away until it was free. And, you know, with everything else that goes on in the world, it just touched my heart. I was like, there are good people in the world that really care. And it's interesting because if you've ever gone swimming in a place where whales have been, or if you've ever gone swimming with the dolphins, which I've gone many, many times, Florida and Mexico many times, and the Bimini, they're fascinating. And I tell a story of Gerard was going for his first time to swim with the dolphins, and we were in a, what do you call that? It was like an outdoor shack type thing with a canal where that led to the ocean, and the dolphins were going by because they were let out of whatever they were kept in to go out into the ocean to swim with us. And it was a part that was like all sectioned off, so they didn't just take off in the wild. And Gerard was bent over putting on his flip-flop things for, what do you call them, flippers. And one came by and I was standing there and it stopped and it looked at Gerard and it started making the clicking noises with its head going like this. Went nuts. You would think this was his old lost, you know, best friend that just recognized him again. And it was funny because my friend and I were there and I said, all right, let's tap into this. Because, I mean, he was making a ruckus to get Gerard's attention. I turn around to look at Gerard. He's bawling his eyes out because there's that heart connection. And what we came up with was this dolphin had been with him before in Atlantis. and it recognized him, and it was like, hey, hey, you know, hi. And that was one of the high points of his life. And the funny thing that happened was the lady that was getting the life jackets and stuff, because you had to wear them there, she said to me, oh, is he afraid of the dolphins? Because he was pulling his eyes out. I said, no. She goes, it's okay. I go, no, he's fine, you know, but, and then when he got in the water and that one coming up to him and just wouldn't leave him and was, you know, talking to him, it was something magnificent. So when you see or have these experiences, and if you've never swam with a dolphin, I would encourage you to do it. The dolphins, the whales are so magnificent. And dolphins are all about play and joy. So they're there to remind us to have a good time. And how many times have they rescued a person out in the ocean? They will. They'll come out of nowhere. If there's a shark around, they'll rescue the person. But Spirit, for whatever reason, wanted me to talk about our ocean friends here. And with all these things that are happening in the world, and who knows, with all the earth changes, it's important to know that we work with some divine beings, and we all take different shapes and forms. All right. We are going to Keepers of the Light. Cernunnos, life force. Express your driving passion. Sensual and sexual powers are increased. Well now, never heard of this one. Beautiful horns she has. It says, there is a deep buildup of life force within you now, and a need to channel it into action. You may have extra energy or be more alert than usual, or aware of a sense of increased sensual or sexual energy. If you've been unsure how this ties into your spiritual path, know that it can allow you to access the richness of your soul. When we are not expressing ourselves sexually, our spiritual potential can become tamed or muted. So if you deny yourself a desire, ask yourself how you can fulfill it. Ask her to help you access your sexual self so that you can express it with integrity and in a way that honors your soul. If you and your partner are trying for a child and this card appears, fertility is on the horizon, especially if Bridget, her twin flame, is present too. Wow. That's pretty amazing. All right. What did I just do with those? Oh. The Rose deck. Love this. What do you want to tell everyone this up and coming week? The Sacred Waters. Nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, and self-care. I can tend to think they gave this to me personally. So look at that beautiful chalice in the card with the waters all flowing with a divine being there. Sacred Waters. Guess they're not alphabetical. The sacred waters are the life-giving mother of us all. Her healing waters replenish us and give us life. We're made up of her like the rose. We need her waters to survive and thrive. We must drop our roots deep to receive the nourishment we so deeply need, to appreciate, protect, and honor the very thing that we take for granted. The mother of the sacred waters delivers the message to slow down, take care of yourself, especially your body, to prioritize your well-being and live in a way that's sustainable. She reminds us to replenish and nourish ourselves and take care of our health all the time, not just when we feel unbalanced. Okay, I hear you. I got this from working about 70 hours last week, and by the time I finished with no day off, I kind of collapsed. So I hear you. You're being called to nourish and replenish yourself before you become brittle and parched. The Mother of the Sacred Water wants you to know that there's nothing more important in your life than the care of your own vessel of a body, and the earth is an extension of that. She wants you to treat yourself with tender care, cherish your body and hers, to fill your well until it spills over, and once it does, to find a way to give back from this place of plenty, to give your body what it's yearning for most before it turns into an urgent need. What is your body yearning for? I think mine's yearning for rest, is what they're telling me. Oh, sorry, I'm just so congested. All right. Magdalene, what would you like to tell us? Revelation. Really interesting. So, this is the sun rising. Really beautiful. So what revelation is wanting to come to us? If we don't make the time to sit so we can channel it or whatever, then we can't get it. But there is some news, some information that your guides want to give to you to open up to. All right, and this is another deck of the Rose, which is Magdalene's. Persistence. Beautiful angel. Hey, I opened to it. How about that? A river flows in one direction, yet taking many different routes. It does not concern itself with time it takes to the journey to its destination. It does not dwell on obstacles on its way. It flows through and around them with unparalleled patience and persistence. All roads lead to source. Do not despair of your perception of time clouds your vision. Oh, if your perception of time clouds your vision. Let the river be your guide. Watch how it flows, fast through a rough terrain and slow through peaceful fields, how it falls and continues to flow, even when it's a small stream or when it is beneath the ground unseen. Sometimes it's strong and fast, sometimes gentle and soft. Through all the phases of its consistency, don't judge your flow. Be like the river, be the flow, be consistent. And Mary Magdalene's message is avoid stagnation, but respect your pace. Even small steps towards a goal will bring you closer. Well, I like that. Nice. So it's telling us just keep moving, you'll get there, right? Small steps. And the last deck is the Divine Feminine. Who wants to work with us this week? Green Tara, the Buddha of enlightened action. My soul informs my every step. I do what my heart compels me to do. Isn't she beautiful? I've seen some of the ancient statues of her that are just amazing. You know, even in Vietnam, some of those statues that you see are incredible. The temples out in the middle of those giant trees. Alrighty, let's see what she has to say. This print is always so small. I should turn a light up in here. I'm always like, what does this say? When your soul has selected her card, green Tara is that sacred nudge to get moving, to do what it is your soul compels you to do. Don't sit with an idea or a project any longer. Take action. Don't think about a friend who keeps coming into your heart. Go bring her dark chocolate or send her a love letter. Don't wait. Don't wait to express your love to someone who needs it. Go now, tell the truth. Let your feet be moved by what has been caged within you. Let your wisdom shift into inspired action. Tara is the message that the time for action is now. There's nothing to wait for, no person you need to become before doing what you've come here to do. I love that. Yeah, nobody else you need to become, just do it. Start small, let the soul lead, not the ego. It's not the grandeur of the gesture or effort. It's the amount of love something is done with that even matters. There are so many injustices in the world, so much suffering, that it's easy to get stuck in molasses of helplessness. The brilliant Burmese diplomat, I don't know how you say her name, says, if you're feeling helpless, help someone. Green Tara is about aligning what moves us to tears with compassionate action. Love that phrase, compassionate action. Sometimes compassionate action is holding a door for somebody that is carrying their groceries or bringing it to their car. I had something happen the other day, touched my heart. I started to talk to this lady that was getting out of her car. She was a lot older than me. And I was telling her she looked so nice. She was all put together and she wasn't paying attention, and she had a little corgi, I forget what kind of dog they're called. Corgi, I think. And it got out of her car and she was so distressed. She's like, oh my God, he doesn't run loose. I'm tracking all around Fresh Acres parking lot trying to get this dog. Before you knew it, there were 6 of us involved. We finally got the dog and she was so grateful. And I could just feel her stress about the dog. It was probably all she had in the life, and it was like compassionate action for sure. She's the push to do something. Anything that might alleviate the suffering of another. In the process of taking action with love and from here, we also liberate ourselves. What does my soul want me to take action on right now? So you can ponder on that question. And your intention, my soul informs my every step. I do what my heart compels me to do. Wow, isn't that beautiful? Love it. So this week, get some of that energy moving. Sexual energy is just energy. Get it moving if you can, if you're with someone, and use that to move you forward. Pay attention to the waterways. This year I haven't felt good about water in terms of floods and all of that. We've seen some of them already. Send your prayers to the waterways and give thanks every time you open a bottle of water or get water from your well. Give thanks and make time for your revelation, and then be persistent with the steps you take towards it. That's what Spirit wants you to know this week. Thank you so much, and remember, even the littlest action is a step in the right direction. Bye-bye.